Hi there everyone, I'm Monika Kinner and I'm an artist in Saskatoon. I work full-time in my field as a textile artist. That's my specialization. And if you're not sure what that means, basically I work with fabric, yarn and thread, rope or string, with the methods of stitching, embroidery, weaving, sewing, things like that. I've done projects with Saskatoon Open Door Society, different guilds and groups across the 3 Prairie provinces, schools and classrooms over the past 12 years, with the exception of the last 2 years, which has been very sad and I really miss it. So I'm pretty excited about Michelle Lafayette contacting me about this project. So there wasn't a project, there was a grant that she found, and she called me up and to ask if I'd be interested in figuring out a project. She mentioned you guys have this fence and what could we do with it, and it was very exciting because you guys know how Michelle is. She has these great ideas that just involves all the kids, and it's always beautiful ideas. She brought this to me and I had ideas. I'm kind of like that too, and then she bounced back some ideas and I bounced back some ideas, and we just brainstormed back and forth. And as we talked this one night on the phone, or messenger, whatever it was, Michelle, it was so fun because we just got more and more excited, and it was like, yeah, and we're gonna do this, and yeah, and oh, that's a good idea. And it just got better and better and really exciting, really exciting. So I'm personally so excited about how we developed this project, and especially that I really believe, and I think so does she, that it's COVID proof. So it doesn't matter if we go into the 18th wave or what happens, I'm pretty sure this can actually occur. So it's outdoors for one thing, and it'll be one class at a time, so I can tell you that much about it. It's not all set in stone yet. We're still, it's still in the development phase. Best case scenario, it would happen in June. Worst case scenario, September, but that's not terrible either. So depends on when the next grant phase would come through for it to actually occur. So right now, this is the development phase, not the carrying through phase. So yeah, so that fence, so 15 panels. I think Michelle told me there was 15 classes. So I want to walk you sort of backwards through the project so that when I'm done, I'll leave you thinking about how this can fit with the way you teach, because it will, you know, even though we have, the fence is going to be filled with color, basically, in the end is what the community will see. But it's going to be very class specific, so it needs to fit with how you teach, and with a specific curriculum, components for your grade, how the specific activity can work socially with the developmental levels of the children in your class, with the fine motor levels of the children in your class. The beauty of this project is that it's so user-friendly. I've done similar things like this on fences, and it's just so adaptable to any age level, special needs, seniors, you know, toddlers, it doesn't matter. Just, it's really easy to manage with anyone, because it's generally, if you can push something through the fence and pull it back, you know, you've nailed the skill. So, but there's so much more that can be involved with that, right? Like if that's the basic level of ability that's needed for this. So, and finally, what specific subject or subjects you might want to adapt the project to. So this can be a science project for your class. This can be art. This can be art and science. I mean, it can be a combination of anything. This can be social studies specific. This can be math, absolutely. But yeah, like it's really, really open to a lot of interpretation based on how you approach it. So the children's video that I'm going to make later, I'll do a lot of more interactive stuff with them before we go out, but to actually put stuff on the fence. But the idea is that the fence is the school project, each panel of the fence is the classroom project, And in the panel will be sections that will be each child's project. So there's lots of things, anything could change from here to the time we actually do it, but one idea was wheels or spokes or starbursts or spirals, flowers, or gears. And so I said to Michelle, hey, remember those toys we had when our kids were little? Well, hers are still little, but they were magnets on the fridge, and they were plastic, and they had gears. And if you turned one, the next wheel would turn, and you could line a whole bunch up. I drew it if you want to see. There, you see that? And you'd line them all up in a row, and the kid would take the end one, and when they turned it, all of them would turn. So the idea behind that with the fence would be that from the very end of the fence to the other end of the fence, symbolically, every child is linked, and every child affects every other child. The child's happiness, health, whatever, friendliness, giving, good-heartedness, all that stuff. Everybody in the community affects each other, and just how we are all linked. If someone is not doing well, it can kind of affect everyone else. So it's a good visual for that kind of stuff, and I thought that was really neat. So so everyone turns together and everyone's affected. The other cool thing in talking about the symbolism of the fence is everyone needs to be involved in this. And with Christmas gift giving, I'm always pushed my kids, make sure you get a gift for the janitors, because their role in the school is just as important as anyone else's. So I would love to have a panel for the teachers, the janitors, any other helpers, volunteers, anyone involved in the running of the school needs to have a fence panel. If you have more than 15, that would be great. If children aren't there the day of the classroom does their panel, you leave an empty space for them, because I don't want anyone being heartbroken about missing. We need to leave room for everyone and make sure that they get a chance to get their piece in. And I think symbolically that's great too, because then you notice when someone's missing, you know, like even though it's a big crowd of color and pieces, like anyone driving by is going to see the empty spot. And that's how valuable everyone is in the group, that one person missing matters. So I just think it's just, I'm getting goosebumps. So I like that it means stuff too. So socially, I think this is a really good project. So you can work that into, you know, your own classroom objectives. That's the idea. So let me just check my notes, make sure I haven't missed anything. Blah, 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 blah. Got it. Well, thank you very much. And with the children's presentation, I'll have actual photos of other projects and a fence project that I've done in the past, so they can actually see what things like this can look like in the end. Okay, thanks for having me. If you have ideas or questions that Michelle can't answer, we'll ask her first. If she can't answer, she'll message me. Have a good day, you guys. Bye-bye.